So with all the crazy stuff going on in the world right now, the political conflict that many fear the most is a potential war between China and Taiwan. But should we be worried about that? And what impact would a Chinese invasion of this island nation have on the United States and the rest of the world? To answer that, let's briefly recap some history. So, Taiwan was under Chinese control for a couple hundred years before it was taken over by Japan, then returned to China after the Second World War. But then a civil war broke out as Mao's communist forces battled and defeated the ruling Nationalist Chinese Party, who then fled to Taiwan, and the two nations have been at odds ever since. Taiwan, of course, sees itself as a sovereign country, but China's current president and the ruling Communist Party disagree. They think Taiwan belongs to them and have repeatedly threatened to take it by force. So, what would happen if China did that? Well, it would have massive implications for our global economy as Taiwan produces most of the world's semiconductor chips. These chips power just about everything from our phones, laptops, cars, planes, and medical equipment. Even the US military relies on Taiwan's semiconductors. Now, on paper, it would seem like China could decimate Taiwan and put an end to a war fairly quickly. China spends more on defense than any country outside the US, and it has a 10 times larger ground army than Taiwan, 10 times more fighter planes, 6 times as many ships, and missile technology that Taiwan could only dream of. So then the question is, if China wants Taiwan so bad, why hasn't it made a move already? Well, for one, launching an amphibious invasion of a fortified nation like Taiwan is really hard. You have to move armor, supplies, soldiers across the Taiwan Strait, all while being shot at. This is difficult for any military to do, especially an untested one like China's. Second, Taiwan has been preparing for a fight with China for over 6 decades. This is something that separates it from a country like Ukraine, for example, which has only been a nation for 30 years. Third, and most importantly, the Chinese communist leaders know that any miscalculation in this conflict could lead to their demise. Whatever difficulties Russia is facing because of Western sanctions, China's pain would likely be way worse. Unlike Russia, which is less globally integrated and is a huge exporter of food and oil, China is completely dependent on the outside world for food, energy, and stable supply chains. There's every reason to believe NATO allies would be even more aggressive towards China and could starve the nation and cause an internal uprising if the CCP forcibly annexed Taiwan. Crazier things have happened, of course, so anything's possible. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video, follow me, Ashton Cohen, on YouTube, check out my podcast, and go to GenBiz for more great content.